in the scene, Tyler is addressing the men of Fight Club. Quote, "The men I see in Fight Club are the strongest and smartest men who have ever lived. I see all this potential and I see it squandered. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is the spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives."
Ouch.
We've all been raised on television to believe that we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars. But we won't, and we're slowly learning that fact, and we're very, very pissed off.
It's a good speech for these guys, man.
I was just going to quote a little bit, and I thought, how do I stop?
But now you got to keep
That's
going the whole
all
way.
so fantastically written.
If I was in that group and I heard that, I'd probably be pretty fired up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's convincing.
By the way, another fun fact. So I don't know if you noticed, but when he was talking to the men of Fight Club and he referred to rock stars, he looks right at Jared Leto.
Was he
when said
a
that.
rock star at the time?
He was already a musician.
Oh, wow.
So
I forgot he was. Sometimes I forget he's in this movie.
yeah, I think what was he? I think he was called like Beautiful Man or something.
Yeah, he has such an interesting role.
Yeah, Angel
that
Face.
Every time
Angel
I watch
Face.
it, for some reason, when he comes up on screen, I'm like, shit, that's Jared Leto.
Yeah. So yeah, and he was good.
Love that. Yeah, it's great.
So American culture, tells us that we can be anything if we want to be. We see Olympic athletes, actors, and even CEOs saying all we have to do is aim high and believe. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think Tyler is hitting on something here. So, Ryan, my question is this: how did that scene hit you?
Every time I watch it, it's becomes more and more poignant. Like you said, this movie doesn't age. This movie has standed the test of time, and it's because it's very relatable to society in general.
Completely.
We haven't changed.
We haven't.
This
at
was
all.
this was relatable 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's relatable now.
It was.
It's still that way. Like you said, Olympics, actors, rock stars, CEOs, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all everybody says is, it could be you. It's the American dream. It could be, and the reality is that's less than 1%.
I totally agree. And part of why I said that was when I hear athletes or people say, all you have to do is believe and you can do anything, I think I cannot high jump 10 feet. Like, shut the bleep up. That actually agitates me when I hear it. Like,
Sure.
It's supposed to inspire people, and
Which I get.
I get it.
What are you going to say
too.
when you're up there? I get it.
I get it too, but it's not true.
That is, yeah, you're right.
That is just not the reality. It's kind of like hard work will get you ahead.
So this is what we just talked about.
I work hard mowing lawns. I'm not getting ahead.
This is what we talked about, though. We just talked about this in the Black Bag episode we did about lying for the greater good, lying to be kind. Is it better to go up there and say, well, you're not going to work hard as me, so you're not going to get to where I'm at?
Quite
Or is it
frankly, I
better
wouldn't
to-
even address it.
You wouldn't address it
Well,
at all?
if it's like, is this about like giving advice? Like, for the young people out there.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times what I see. I mean, these people, there's plenty of people, listen, we're talking about this the way we are. There's plenty of people I look up to. There's plenty of
Sure.
people that I idolize.
Me too, for sure. I'm not saying that isn't the case.
Correct. But I think when you're in that position, when you have that much reach, when you have that much influence, I hate that word, but when you have that much influence, you want to be saying the right things. You want to be saying positive things. You want to give people hope.
Isn't that lying to them, Ryan?
In a way, yes, but you don't. I think for them, you don't know who that's going to reach.
No, that's true. And
Out of the million people watching, one of them could become the next.
okay, so then the 999,000
Yeah,
are gonna join Fight Club because they're pissed off.
I'm with you,
because
man.
they were lied to and they believed it.
I'm with you. There's only so many seats at the table.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
enough
yeah.
seats for all of us.
So, I also asked this: how do we balance our dreams, our passions, and the reality of our predicaments?
I've been wrestling with that for 15
I was so
years.
hoping you were going to have the answer. Damn it. So, I mean, really, how do we make it okay to do the things we must in order to keep ourselves housed and healthy and pursue the things that we really want to?
It's a great question. A lot of the people I will say this, my girlfriend and I talk about this a lot. a lot of people in the generation, and you might be able to speak to this as well. A lot of older generations, your expectation was to get a stable job,
Yes.
start
True.
a family,
Yeah.
have the wife and kids and a white picket fence. Like that was just the expectation. That's just what you did. That was just how it was laid out for you. And so I talk to people who are of my parents' generation all the time who they fucking hate their lives. They hate their jobs. They hate it. But it's like, I just had to do it.
Because that's what you do.
You know, and some of them will see us as like these rebellious kids who are trying to get jobs in like art and movies. And they're like, that's stupid. You should just get a 9 to 5. And it's like, why? So I can hate my life like you do? Like, is that why I should do it?
And you know what the answer is to that? Yes.
Right.
Hey, and unfortunately, there are a lot of people who think that way of like, well, I had to bury my dreams, so you should too. It's kind of the opposite of what we were just saying of offering something that's hopeful and encouraging.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
the harsh reality of it.
it is the harsh reality. I think that people might not even consciously think that I want you to join my misery circle, but there are people who do think that way.
I try to
you
put
know?
myself somewhere right in between. I try to think logically first.
Sure.
Logic always first. But then I try to remain true to my sense of self and what I want to do with this life. And so I have to try to balance myself somewhere right in the middle.
Well, which is I think very sane. I think it's also we have to be smart about the messages we get from to the point of this movie, advertising and from society at large,
Yeah.
because you're going to be your best interest is not necessarily at heart for whoever is putting out that message.
Correct.
A
lot of times they're trying to sell you a product.
Exactly. And if you're just buying, so to speak, everything they're selling, then you could find yourself incredibly disillusioned, incredibly angry, incredibly disconnected from
Correct.
yourself, from your own life, and could get to a point at a particular age where you're in so deep you don't even know how to get yourself out.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great way to put it.
And I think there are probably a lot of people out there that if they realize that it's so destabilizing to even think that, they'll bury that too.
100%. They'll be dishonest to themselves.
I watched. Wow, I'm just remembering this. I lived abroad for a year. I lived in London, and someone came and visited me, and I saw them sitting on my bed facing the window, and I came up and I go, "Are you okay?" And this person said, "I'm looking back at my life, and I realize I hate it."
Ooh.
And this person started to really freak out. And I put my hand on their shoulder and they're like, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me." And then I watched this person go, "I'm okay."
Whoa, man. Suck it all back
And
in.
I watched them bury that. And I thought, for this person, that's how they're coping with this.
I think that's a lot of people, man. That's
And
not one in a million.
And that's why I say that, because I don't, no judgment on this person whatsoever. I think that's the reality for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think that's also, because I think I love to travel, and it gives me a real sense of liberty and adventure.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot about yourself. And there are times when you are far away that you look back at your life and go, "Oh, wow.
How did
It's
I end
hard."
up here?
Exactly. And you don't have to go to Europe. You don't have to go that far. You can, go to Santa Barbara. You can feel that way. Look,
Just a change of scenery.
Just a change of scenery
will allow you to
will
see
give you that
things.
space where you can look at it and see that
Perspective, yeah.
So I found that
Wow.
speech, if you will, that Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden gave the guys. I watched that over and over, and I also loved Brad Pitt's delivery of it.
So good.
It was fantastic.
There's a reason why he's still working.
Exactly. Yes, there's a very good reason why he's still working.
Yeah.